Alright, so this might be the most bare bones, lightweight sling bag that I've ever used. And this comes with a couple of pros and a few negatives / trade-offs that I really want to talk about this bag. This is a new bag from Matador. This is the Matador 2-liter Lite Sling, and this is in the green colorway. And this is made out of 420D blue sign recycled nylon that is PFAS free. I need to read this off because I cannot for the life of me remember all of these materials. DuraGlide sealing zippers and YKK zippers. So first and foremost, as you can see here, this is, I don't know if you can really see it. It is, just as the name says, a very lightweight and slim sling bag that I can tell you is extremely comfortable to carry. When it comes down to sling bags, when I personally talk about comfortability when it comes down to sling bags, it's not necessarily, in air quotes, only the shoulder strap that is lying on one of your shoulders, but also the bulkiness, the shape, and the way it kind of conforms to your body. Because depending on how it slides in front of your body or in the back, and then it slides a little bit underneath one of your arms. If the bag is very heavily padded, boxy shapes, bulky, stiff, even if it would be smaller than this, if it's stiff and bulky and boxy, I will feel it more on my chest because my arm will kind of bump against it when I'm walking. And a bag that is very soft, lightweight, and in air quotes flexible, it will mold a little bit better to your body. And depending on the shape, if it's roundish instead of boxy, it also abides more to your body shape. And because it is slim and lightweight, you can see this, it is very flat. So when I was walking with this sling bag, I actually did not feel it as much on my body because my arms weren't kind of bumping against it. And this bag, due to its lightweightness, not only in the weight, but more importantly in terms of how flexible this whole material. This is basically essentially a packable bag. If this is empty, you can kind of squish it together, put it in your pants pocket, and it's basically away. So that is the huge benefit of this sling bag, and potentially a really good travel sling bag, not necessarily to carry on your way to your destination, but more importantly, maybe something that you have inside your carry-on backpack. You keep this in your carry-on backpack, maybe have a bigger personal item that you need during the flight whilst your carry-on backpack is in the overhead compartment. But once you arrive at the hotel and you think to yourself, oh, this personal item, this sling bag might be a little bit too big because I wanted to have, I don't know, a gaming device, a Nintendo Switch 2 in my personal item. But when I'm walking the city, I don't really want to carry this big sling bag. Then this sling bag is amazing because you were able to keep it maybe inside the personal item or inside the carry-on bag, get it out and then use it for your walk through the city. But this comes with a huge caveat and a huge trade-off that I feel like is very important. And maybe before we go into that, let's take a look what's inside so I can build up to my issue and the trade-off with this bag. So first and foremost, the build quality, this fabric is amazing. The stitching overall is really good. You have a very tiny little grab handle here. The shoulder strap is soft, not that wide like I usually want, but I feel like with a packable sling bag, this is the perfect size. You have this elastic strap and organizer with a buckle that is fairly secure and a little D-ring to attach a key. First and foremost, the outer pocket that has a mesh see-through. You can already see this is basically close to your body. And you could kind of argue, okay, this is the safest pocket because it's close to your body. But because this is mesh, you can, and other people can see what's inside, and B, if you get into rain, that thing that you potentially want to keep in there securely close to your body will get wet. So I wouldn't necessarily call this a security pocket for a passport, for example, because it could get in danger of either getting wet when it rains, or let's say you are on an airplane and you drink a coffee and then you spill it, then your passport will eventually be exposed to the coffee that you spill. So this, for me, is not necessarily a security pocket, but rather, I don't know, a quick access pocket. So in here I have hand sanitizer and fresh doggy bag. So because I was walking my dog, here you have a hidden, in air quotes, hidden tracker, excuse me, tracker location. This is actually really cool because this is deep and therefore not necessarily only for Apple AirTags, but my Samsung tags would fit here as well. But, and this is something that, so if you're a fan of Matador or if you are from Matador, don't take this as a tag or anything just on Matador. This is something that I have been criticizing with many brands. And I still don't get it why brands still do this. Having a tracker this easily findable and then also, hey, here's the tracker inside. It's so stupid in my humble opinion, especially in a pocket that is visible and see-through. So if a thief grabs your bag, and I've seen this with backpacks as well. So in some backpacks, the tracker pocket is in the front compartment and there's a huge tag. Put your tracker in here. So if I would be a thief, I know that people nowadays put tracker inside and I look for that. And if you make it very easy for me to find that tracker, and I'll just take it out and I wouldn't chuck it away. Honestly, if I would be a thief, I would take this out. I'm a good pickpocket, right? So taking stuff out is easy. So and putting stuff in is even more easier. Then I would just take that tracker, put it in a different person's pocket, and let that person walk away and I walk in a different direction. So I don't get why we need to put so huge labels. See that? There's a huge label in here that makes it, even through the mesh you can see it. So I don't get this. Put that tracker pocket somewhere else. Even if you would put it inside this pocket in here. Yes, it's not symmetrical. Yes, it would be looking a little bit from a design standpoint weird because it's not in the middle or whatever. But I feel like tracker pockets need to be hidden away and not, and again, this is not Matador only. This is with so many bag brands. You put the tracker in the most visible point and then you put an arrow on there. Hey, put the tracker in here. That's stupid. You need to hide that away somewhere at the bottom of the main compartment or a laptop compartment, even better because it's so deep. Put it in the bottom of a laptop compartment and hide it, but not in the front admin panel at the top with a huge marker on that. That's stupid. And sorry about this rant, but I feel like so many brands do this, and I mean, hate is a strong word, so I'm not using hate, but I dislike this so much because I feel like it is so stupid to do that. So sorry about that rant, but yeah, thumbs up if you agree with me. So that's inside this pocket. So fresh doggy bags and hand sanitizer. Now, getting into the main compartment here. Open this up with this dual zipper. In here, there's some tissue, my secret wallet. Maybe check out my EDC videos, then you basically know what I usually carry, but I think it's a good idea to check that out as well, what's inside. Then DJI Nano Mic Mini, this multi-tool from Peachy. By the way, all of these items are linked below. Those are affiliate links. With those you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback of that sale. And if you do so, thank you very much. Then obviously the DJI Nano, Nitecore USB-C cable for the Nitecore NB Air, small cleaning cloth for my glasses, then the Wubin G5 flashlight, lip balm, hand lotion, the Gerber dime multi-tool, and that's basically it. Inside you also have a little bit of a key leash, but maybe you already noticed what I potentially don't really like about this. And here a view of the inside, it's spacious, but what you can see here, and by the way I unloaded everything, there is no organization. There are no slots. It's basically just a big hole where you dump in all of your stuff. Let me just demonstrate it here. Let's put all of this back in here. This is essentially just a huge dumping ground for all of your items. And that, and then the smallest item. So see that? It's my OCD, my itch for organization is like tingling so much right now, because this is just, and I don't mean this in an offensive way because I don't want to attack any female or my wife or anyone else. This is basically what her slingbag looks like. She never uses any organization. She basically throws everything in, and again, to each their own, right? And I think it's not a big deal, but for me I need to have things organized. And you saw this last item that I threw in. This is really small, and the more I walk, just like in a cereal package, all of the small things kind of dive down. Basically, the more you walk, the more this small item will kind of wander all the way to the bottom. And if it's right at the bottom and you might need to find, you are like rummaging around and trying to find, where is it? Oh, okay, there it is. Oh, where's my lip balm? Or some coins here, or whatever it might be. Where's my DJI mic mini? This is a huge mess. For some people, that's not a big deal. For me, it is. I need to have a little bit of organization in my sling bag to be more easily able to find these small bits and pieces. And that's the huge trade-off. And I don't want to call this a trade-off, because I understand the design decision or the need why you need to do this. Because obviously, if you want to make it lightweight, if you want to potentially make it packable, if you would add like padding to protect all of your items, again, nothing in here is protected. If I would drop this on the ground, there would be a risk of potentially scratching or breaking the lens of my DJI Nano. If you would add padding, for example, and some like structure to it, it wouldn't be packable. It would add some weight. It wouldn't be as lightweight, and it wouldn't be as comfortable to carry. Like I mentioned in the beginning, this bag is extremely comfortable to carry, because since nothing is organized, this is kind of like a bag of rice. No matter what items are in there, obviously if I would have a book in there, it would be different. But with all of these small items, this is like a pouch of rice. It kind of forms to my body. And I understand the design decision why they did this, and therefore I don't want to fault this bag for the lack of organization. They wanted to make this lightweight. They wanted to make it packable. They wanted to make it as good and flexible on your body as possible, and therefore there's no padding. I kind of wish though there were a couple of slots here, because I do feel like they wouldn't have taken away too much of the lightweightness. So at least 2 slots here, so I could put my small items or my wallet in one of these slots and organize it a little bit better. I would have wished they have done this, but I do understand that there will be a lot of people that like this and that don't mind this unorganized hole in here. So get that. That's why I call this a trade-off, not necessarily a negative, because this doesn't work for me, it's not a bad bag. I do understand its purpose, and I think that is the biggest thing with this bag. You need to understand the purpose of this bag. This is a 2-liter For me, they don't advertise it as that, but for me, this is a 2-liter packable sling bag that is great to have, especially when traveling, in addition to a personal item and a carry-on bag. Crunch this up, put this into your carry-on backpack, and when you arrive, leave the personal item. Maybe that your personal item is a 6-liter sling bag. I don't want to walk around with a 6-liter sling bag. So having this with me in my carry-on bag, this would be amazing. So I understand the design decision for this 2-liter Lite Sling bag. But personally, now on a day-to-day basis, I will not use this. But yeah, what are your opinions on this sling bag and on lightweight packable bags overall? Do you utilize them? Yes, nay? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to see a different sling bag review, check it up here. YouTube thinks they like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. That way we see each other in the next video. Thank you very much.